18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Good morning to you. This is Island Tea, and Jamsta is in the building. And just letting you know, we're also live on your TVC Channel 40. That's if you have the luxury of being at home at this time, just kicking back, sitting down on the couch, wherever it is that a TV is in eye shot. Well, we're on the TV as well. That's Island Tea. Well, no Kortensia today. She's off. I'm awaiting the arrival of Jay Black. And just letting some folks know that I've got some notices here. First one is from the Water Services Department. So they are going to be, that's the Water Services Department. They're letting their customers in Stapleton know that they may observe low to no water pressure today, Monday, due to emergency repairs to the distribution line. The WSD is committed to resolving the issue swiftly and anticipates service restoration by 2 p.m. today. So follow their Facebook page and visit water.gov.kn or mopieud.gov.kn for additional notices from the St. Kitts Water Services Department. And in related news, Water Services Department also announces that cashiers and customer services, that's the cashiers and customer services division, will open at 9 a.m. today. So that's 9 o'clock this morning. They are having a staff meeting at the moment, which is why they're going to be opening 1 hour later. WSD apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause. So once again, low pressure and or water service interruption in Stapleton that should return at 2 p.m. today. And the St. Kitts Water Services Department, their cashier and customer service division will open at 9 o'clock this morning to facilitate a staff meeting. So there you have it. And the general public, I know within the last week, lots of folks have been in a tizzy over some rate hikes that were announced, rate and fee hikes, and fee impositions, I guess. Fee instatements might be a better word, that are going to be rolled out by the National Bank. And of course, I'm sure most people must have heard about those, right? Well, a National Bank customer, actually did a post on Facebook. Basically, I would say rationalizing the rates, and I gotta say this person would make a great they'd make a great PR agent, for a great PR communications person for National Bank, because I have to say the post I read made a lot of sense. And I always say that I find a lot of times conditions and divisions we're pretty unreasonable. We complain about stuff, and what happens is when we complain about stuff, we don't put it into context. We don't we don't I don't think a lot of time, I don't think the critique is reasonable. So let me take a look at this letter. So it starts, I feel compelled to weigh in on this whole tralala about National Bank's adjusted fees. I've been banking with National for, I'm sure, 20 years, as I have with Republic, formerly Scotia. I have a credit union account, and I have at some point held accounts with the two other commercial banks on the circus. All banks have user fees, including fees on accounts under a certain balance, dormant accounts and overdrawn accounts, etc. None of the new or adjusted National Bank rates are unusual, and for many, they are less than other banks. First up, their ATM transactions remain free. They still offer a number of banking services completely free, including, and to me most importantly, more banking, e-banking, future planner, and horizon accounts. As to the fee for saving accounts with balances under $100, now don't get me wrong, I have had accounts with balances below the threshold, but more often than not, this forced me to try to keep my balance at a certain level, even if it meant buying the Vienna sausage and cheap cheese. Reading up on NatBank's rates and services, they actually have a flexible fee structure for savings accounts with balances over the $100 limit that have no fees at all, and even if it does drop below the $100, the fee is only $5, which is less than other banks that charge all like $15. My brother, who spent over 40 years in commercial banking, once told me that banks make no money on retail banking. Or multiple relatively small transactions can actually cost banks. They are essentially providing us with a service, and services cost money. Things like cybersecurity and electronic banking and all the related digital infrastructure required. I think we need to be realistic about how things run. Furthermore, NatBank hasn't revised its fees for, I'm sure, over 10 years, probably even more. People who are out there claiming National is overcharging or unfairly increasing fees are either not doing their homework or being disingenuous. Their fees are competitive and in many cases lower than other local and regional banks and credit unions. Just go to their website and those of other banks and compare their fee structures and services, rather than jump on the sky is falling bandwagon. I hope by now people know I don't hold a brief for a soul but me, and if I really thought the bank was being unreasonable, I would be the first to say so. Anyway, that's my take and my takeaway. All I'm suggesting here is that you do your homework before you start cutting up cards and withdrawing money. Before you check out what alternatives are out there. Unless you plan to do like my granny and keep your money under the mattress, you most likely will need a bank at some point. Okay, so I thought I would say that. It's 8:26. I think I can squeeze in a couple calls before traffic talk. Caller, go right ahead. What's up?
Hey, good morning, Jamsta.
Hey.
Being on your traffic talk this morning.
Traffic talk starts in 3 minutes.
With 8:30 starts. Okay,
yes.
Okay, I'll call back then.
Okay, all right.
All right, thanks, sir.
Auntie, go right ahead.
Hey, Jamsta, good morning.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yes, I'm very well. So I'm here listening to you about the National Bank fees.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to weigh in on this because I actually think it's ridiculous. And it is a penalty on poor people, because if you can't maintain your balance above $100 for whatever reason in a given month, you're going to be charged $5. Now, if that is justified by cybersecurity fees and other online expenses that the bank has, then why aren't they charging the people who have high balances? Because when you think about it, if there's a penalty and I know I'll lose my money, and I then decide to keep balances above 100, which is what the bank is insisting it's trying to do, right? I don't know if it's good fiscal governance or whatever. But then if everybody keeps their balances above $100, then how does the bank make money for what it's justifying as added costs in cybersecurity, etc.? Have you thought about that?
I see your point. You see, there are valid points on both sides of the argument, or all sides, because there might even be more than two sides.
Well, it's obvious. It's obvious that that's not a valid justification, because you would imagine that the bank, that balances in the bank are higher than the balances that are below $100. Come on. If the bank had 10,000 accounts, how many of them do you think are going to be below 100? And how long will they be below 100 for the bank to make any money anyway? The ones that are higher are greater.
I see what you mean, yeah.
I'll let you under that.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, however you slice it, you know, money works for the people who have it. Right?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I mean.
So it is a penalty on poor people. It is. The justification does not stand up. National Bank could do better than that. They've done in my bad books already anyway, so I'll leave it there.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to continue this discussion after traffic talk. Yeah, that's coming up in about just under a minute. So I hope you'll join me then.
I'll try.
And some of the other stuff that we'll want to discuss. Okay, so Traffic Talk is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance Insurance, and let's go there.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Be careful on the road.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down.
Well, it's time for Traffic Talk. It's 8:31. Traffic Talk brought to you by Caribbean Alliance Insurance. I've got Officer Sophia Henry and Olea Prentice from Inland Revenue. So we're going to get right into it. Good morning, Sophia. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jamsta. I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. Olea, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
I always like hanging out with ladies. You know, it's just the best. So, what's on the agenda this morning?
This morning, I'm here to talk about some upgrades that are being done to the vehicle and road registration system. And as part of the ongoing improvement to the vehicle and registration system, I would like to inform the general public of several important changes that will enhance our processes and increase overall efficiency within the traffic department and also the Inland Revenue Department. These upgrades aim to improve efficiency, as I said, and convenience for vehicle owners across St. Christopher and Nevis. We have the digital vehicle inspection process. This used to happen when you go to the inspection site, they inspect your vehicle, they write up a paper and they give it to go to Inland Revenue Department. All of that is null and void now. We're going to use the digital one. So you go to inspect your vehicle, the inspections owner or whoever they have working representative will check the vehicle and everything on it. They have to check lights, brakes, and whatever, and they have to tick to say it's passed. If you have one fail, that is not acceptable. You have to have all passes for that vehicle to be passed. And when they finish that, they will upload whatever and it will go to the Inland Revenue Department. So no longer you'll have to walk with a paper. We also have insurance also on board, the insurance companies. You go, you insure your vehicle, they take the information and everything, go on the computer. They also upload that, and Inland Revenue Department and Traffic Department also will see that renewal. No longer, Traffic Department will have to pull up, and when you see, you say, okay, this person is not insured, the vehicle is not insured. This used to happen because when persons license their vehicle and the insurance is valid, it will show. So for instance, your vehicle your insurance is January and your license or you have a number that ends with 2. So you have to license that on the second month. After that, maybe the insurance expire and looking at that, we won't see it. But now with this new system, as long as you upgrade or you renew your insurance, we will see it. So if we look on the system and we see it's not valid, we know it is not renewed. This will streamline paperwork, so no longer you'll have to walk with paper from point A to point B. You go to the inspection site, they inspect your vehicle, they upload it on the system. You go to the insurance, you renew your insurance, you upload it on the system. And most of the brunt of the work now will be on Traffic Department. It won't be no longer with Inland Revenue Department. So most of the work, the Traffic Department will be doing it. Also for those instructors who have students, students, it's no longer now that they will have to put in the information for the student. Once ago, the examining officers the instructors used to put in everything when they book an appointment for the students. No longer, and this used to happen, sometimes they put in a wrong number. So when the student come to the written, they wouldn't be able to get it done because the number that is on the paper and the one that the instructors put in, they never used to match. So now everything will be done, and this part will be done by the Inland Revenue Department. A student go, a learner go to buy their permit, the rep from Inland Revenue will put in all the information. So when time to come to do the written, all the instructor will have to do is go and search for that person's name and book the appointment. I will stop here for now, and I will let my...
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Henry. To piggyback on what Mrs. Henry said, changes are going to be taking place at the Inland Revenue Department. Let me start with the permits. First-time permits. Once you walk into Inland Revenue Department, you no longer have to go directly to the cashiers. We did make some changes because, as you know, we changed over to a smart system. So what was happening is that person go to the cashier to purchase a permit. For the first time, you will go directly to taxpayer services, but there's a form you have to complete. Okay? So for first-time permit holders, you have to complete an application form, present an ID with it, and proceed to taxpayer services. Once we capture your information, then you'll proceed to make payment at the cashier. Now, as Sophia said, that information basically goes into the system, so when you go to do your tests, all they have to do is to enter your record. If you pass, they put in your classes, etc., etc. You just come to Inland Revenue to make payment and take your photo. In regards to the driver's test, you just go straight to the cashier to make payment. So you don't have to go to taxpayer services. You just go straight to the cashiers to make payment. In regards to the renewal of driver's licenses, for renewals, we're basically going straight to taxpayer services. Before, we would have you complete an application form. Now, the application form only comes in now if there are changes to your demographic information, such as your name, if you have a name change, if your telephone number has changed, if your address has changed, anything in regards to your demographic information that has changed, we ask that you complete a form and then you proceed to taxpayer services so we can update your information before you can proceed to the cashiers to renew your driver's license. In regards to name change, of course, you need to provide your proof of what is causing the name change, whether it's a deed poll, divorce decree. You have to have that evidence as to why you're completing the name change. Duplicate driver's licenses is one as well that you would have had to complete an application form for. You no longer have to do that. You just proceed to the cashier, present 2 identifications, and you're able to do that. In regards to vehicles, you just proceed to the cashier, making it simple for you. Provide your vehicle registration number, that is your plate number, whether it's a H, a P, or T, an R, and make your payment. As Sophia said, the insurance and inspection agencies would have already uploaded your information into the system, so that makes it easier for you. One thing I must add here, because it's a new system that we are just introducing, persons may have already had their insurance and have already had the inspection completed. Now, we are not saying that you have to go to traffic department or go back to the inspection agency or the insurance company to have them upload that information. Traffic department is putting measures in place so that when you come to Inland Revenue Department and that information is not in our record, it can be entered in. Okay, so we are not putting you to go back to the insurance companies or the inspection agencies.
Yes.
One thing I must add that I think Sophia didn't touch on is the fact that everything stays at traffic now. In regards, so if you go and you do your registration of a vehicle, that information is entered there, and then all you come into Inland Revenue to do is to make payments. That's it. So it's a much more simplified process. If you recognize that your chassis has changed, you of course have to go back to traffic. You can't come to Inland Revenue and say, "Hey, my chassis information has changed." You have to go to traffic department. So that is very important. And if your vehicle is off the road, it is critical for you to notify traffic department that your vehicle is off the road. That's very important as well. Sophia, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yes, and also with the change of color, someone change the color of the vehicle, they used to have to go to Inland Revenue to pay that. All they have to do when they go to the inspection site, the inspection rep will put that on the paper. So when they upload it, Inland Revenue will see change of color, so you just have to pay for the change of color, and that is 60 to 50.
Correct.
So everything, paper streamline, is much easier now. You don't have to go from point A to point B. And once ago, you just had to come traffic, insurance, back to traffic department, Inland Revenue, inspection, insurance, and everything. So it's easier now. And you don't have to walk with paper. For those who go to the inspection site and they will like a copy of the inspection, all they have to do is give the inspection site an email address so they can send it via email. And you can always print it on your end.
If I may interject, there's also one aspect that is very important as well to the upgrades is that I know most persons know Inland Revenue has the e-service portal in which you can do your vehicle license renewal and your driver's license renewal. Even if you lost your license, you can do it online to get a replacement. With this new upgrade as well, there will be an online platform. However, for the time being, it's only going to be limited to renewals. Once you go onto our website, there's no login information required. You basically go to Inland Revenue website, www.sknird.com. You click on SMART, and it will show you the option to go to driver and vehicle. And then once you select your vehicle, you need to put in your vehicle license number, which is your plate number, plus a chassis. If your chassis does not match, it means that there's something wrong in the record, and you would need to go to traffic department to rectify that. In regards to driver's licenses, all you need to put in is your email address, your date of birth, and
Address.
no. Hold on, let me backtrack. Driver's license number, your date of birth, email address.
Okay.
That is for driver's license
Okay. I
renewal.
don't know if you want to hold that thought.
Sure.
There's a caller. You want to
Sure.
ready to take a call?
Sure.
Caller, go right ahead for traffic talk.
Yes, good morning. Two things. Does this mean, as a driver, because we do not necessarily need to walk with proof of insurance anymore in our vehicles, because it's already digitally held by traffic and Inland Revenue?
Yes.
And the next,
Go ahead.
you're gonna ask,
Go ahead.
so the next question is change of ownership. What would change for that? And I'll listen off here. Thank you.
Yes. As I said, yes, the insurance will be there, but we still need to see it because remember, if you stop a vehicle, you have 7 days in which to produce that. So we need to see the copy still. So you have 7 days in which to produce your insurance. For change of ownership, it's the same thing. You come to traffic department, you do the change of ownership, you don't have to go with any paper. You leave from traffic department, you go to your insurance site, the insurance company, and the insurance company will do whatever, and then everything Inland Revenue will see on the end. You don't have to go with no paper. Everything is paper, nothing. But the thing is we have a signature pad, so when you come up there, you sign on the signature pad. So it's much easier. You don't have to walk with papers now.
Okay. Saving the trees, huh?
Yes.
Global warming.
Okay. Folks, if you have any calls, I'm sure you have questions for this traffic registration upgrade. So if there are any questions, this would be a good time to call 845. And here we go. I love obedient listeners. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning. Good
Hey.
morning, Jamsta.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning, officer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I cannot hear. I may have a radio study, we have to continue conversating on the phone. The question I call to ask is, why is it I am being deserted when it comes to protection like any other citizen born in this country? Why is it this thing was going on up here on my farm? It's been going on for so long, and it's been going on and carried on by the authorities, which is the police They are not doing the work for you to talk about it from since February. A man come up here, take up a portion of the road with the fence permanently. Can't get to clean my land. Also, what take place also? Cut my pipe, put on a tea, divert my water elsewhere. Go and put the pipe in the same trench on my pipe. I can't get to, from that to that, I can't get to bury my pipe properly. Up here, they're saying, you know, it has the potential of becoming a murder scene. On the weekend, you see a vehicle going around about this crime, 90 days thing. But who can it out? Who? This ain't the first time I speak on concerning this. I've been to your office also. I've been to the commissioner's office also. We had meetings, meetings up to the month in July of this year. Why? Why I can't do it? For example, did you went to the market on weekend? Seasoning pepper right now, scarce. It should now be happening. How is it I can't make me living? I invest my money for over a mile in pipe to get water a million, and somebody could come and cut my pipe, put on a tea, divert in my water elsewhere. A man could come up here, take up a portion of the road. He could drive us straight into his farm, but he can't drive us straight into my farm because of the fence. The client, they're going to come here, and hey, I approve of it. The end product of the sun, electricity, and that could be going on, but I can't carry on with what I invest my money, you know. Up here got the potential of becoming a crime scene, a murder scene, murder area, I must say, because I am causing it to go on.
Kosh, okay, I think
Jamsta, I'll tell you something. This thing can't go on with just this little couple of minutes. Help me to get on the radio with, you know. Like about 11 o'clock. You can't on a Monday, because I'm heading for therapy presently now.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
You got my number 668-2555.
Okay, and
I'm sending out an invitation to all who want to see what I'm talking about. Come up, Tegoman Boulevard, you turn there by the Chinese supermarket. You got a shop on the right hand side going up further up the road. I have my nursery down there. I'll be down there reading it out this afternoon. Open invitation. Goodbye.
Okay.
Damn, you got my number.
Okay, all right.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, you want to go ahead?
Yes, the caller just called. Yes, you said somebody cut your pipe. Did you inform water department about it? If not, then I can inform them. I told you already, sustainable development is the one who will be looking into your land. That's the most I can do, sir. I can inform water department for you. I can call sustainable again and tell them about your query, your concern, and whatever you're going through.
Okay, what I want you to do, it's at 8:49. Just go through the bullet points of the upgrade again for people who might just be joining us. The upgrades for traffic registration that involve obviously the traffic department and inland revenue.
For persons who are doing registration of vehicle, they come to the traffic department, they do the registration, they go to insurance as usual. The insurance will upload the information because the insurance, Inland Revenue Department, and inspection sites are all on one platform now. So once you go to the insurance, they upload your information. Inland Revenue will see that information, also traffic department. Then you go to the inspection site, inspect your vehicle. No longer the inspection rep will give you a form. They will upload the information and Inland Revenue will see that. But you must have a pass on that to get your vehicle license. Once you have a fail, it won't be able to license. You'll have to rectify whatever, go back to the inspection site, and then they check it again. And once it passed, then you go to Inland Revenue and you do your payment.
So it's a case of like, if you do an exam, it's like it has to be 100% pass to pass.
Yes.
Okay.
You cannot have one fail.
You can't have one question wrong, so to speak. Okay.
Yes. And they'll be checking for everything, even tint on vehicles. Yes. Yes, Jamsta.
Why are you looking at me like that?
You open your eyes, I just said yes, Jamsta. So, and then the thing is if you want a copy of your inspection, make sure you give the inspection rep your email address so they can email it to you.
Sounds good. Okay. Anything else you guys want to point out? Let me ask you. You remember I've always told you guys about. Are there any other plans for upgrades to your system, especially with a view to raising revenue? Because you know how I always tell you, petitions and divisions, they like fanciness. I know people will pay a lot of money to have personalized plates. So still no movement on that?
No Jamsta.
Okay.
Anything, when any changes that want to be made or should be made to the vehicle registration system, we have to go to cabinet first.
Yeah,
and
course,
then, yes.
of course. But it's interesting that you came to announce this. I was just thinking, I'm sure there are other things you guys have thought about that you've perhaps spoken to the ministry and maybe your bosses about. That's why I was.
Well, we had this system already. We had this before, but Inland Revenue was on their own and traffic was on their own. So we just try to collaborate, everybody together
and bring everything together.
Yes.
Makes everything easier.
It's
okay.
Less stress-free and everything.
Okay. And you don't need any more stress in your life, right? Okay. It's 8 minutes until 9 o'clock. Folks, if you have any calls, let's hear them. And I'm sure you guys have more things you want to talk about. Go ahead.
Jamsta, I would like to let the public know that today, October 7th, the services for driver's license and motor vehicles is temporarily down because, of course, we are doing our final checks and balances to make sure that we are ready to resume that service tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so there will be no licensing of vehicles, no renewal of driver's licenses today.
Okay. We have a call, so we're going to go to the phone lines. 853. Island T, you're calling for traffic talk. Go right ahead.
Good morning, Jamsta. Good morning to everyone else.
Hey, what's
Good
up?
morning.
I don't know if I misunderstood or didn't hear when she mentioned. I think she was mentioning something. If you get pulled over and they ask you for the insurance paper, based on what she said, they take everything to Inland Revenue and they have information also. I think she was saying that they give you 7 days to present the paperwork. Now, if they're saying that you're not going to get a paper, and you don't need a paper anymore, the insurance company will transfer everything to Inland Revenue. Why not they go into the system or go to Inland Revenue via the internet or however they go about doing it and get the information? Why would you have to show up with a paper if it's that sure thing? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, this is the 10th month. And remember, some persons already insured the vehicle, so we won't have that in the system. Going forward now, as of tomorrow, we'll see that. But remember, we're in the 10th month. Some persons already insured, and that wouldn't be seen on the platform.
Okay. Anything else you want to cover? And by the way, are you pleased with the progress going on the road construction?
Yes,
in St.
I am.
Peter's? Okay.
Are you?
Well, I haven't been up there that side.
Well, I only drive from Gillard's to the TVC roundabout, so.
Okay.
That section is already completed.
TDC roundabout is the one by the Mormon Church, right? That's
Yes.
it, yeah.
And the one by Gillard is the Lions Club.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is okay.
It's good.
Yes.
All right.
We cannot mark out the road as yet because remember they're doing from the airport roundabout up to that, and then they're going as far as Ojigot.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. So the marking for the road won't be done right now.
That road, the road that runs up, what do you call it? You guys gonna call it White House Road?
Which one?
The one that runs
By the bank?
No, by the church to the left of the Anglican church. Are you guys gonna? I mean, where is it gonna come out up at the top? The new road.
You go all the way up to White's. You could go up and then come out by either by the preschool.
Oh.
Yes.
So it joins up with like one
I
of
go
those.
all the way up to Stapleton, I think is the estate.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good.
You can go up there and come out by the estate and back on the main road.
Oh, that's good.
Up to Parry Housing, yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good sort of good second main road sort of too, because especially if something is going on on that road, you could always So
and I think St. Peter's is having the fest.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's supposed to start from sometime this month.
Okay.
So, you know, the main road going to be busy. So, you drive the bypass or the side road and you get out.
So that'll be the jamming road, right?
I don't know.
Okay. There's a comment here. Someone says personalized plates are traded in the UK as a commodity and worth a lot of money. So I thought I'd read that. Hint. Anything else on your mind? You got 4 minutes left.
Yes, I would like to say that for those persons who use our online platform for e-services, please note that there's changes to the platform. You're now going to have to use the new portal, which is the Smarts portal, in order to complete your renewal. So that means there will be no duplicates available at this time, no name change available at this time. Now, for those persons living overseas, I know there's that process where we would have you email the department authorizing us to have persons collect your driver's license on your behalf. That will still be in place. However, if you lost your license, you no longer have the option to do it online. You'll have to complete the online application for the application form, for overseas drivers, and have it notarized and send with the required documentation to get that approved by traffic department for you to be able to get your replacement license.
Oh, and just to say, I know you guys rolled out your Smart E system recently. So the Smart E system is supporting the fusion of both
it's going to
traffic departments and
for the payment portal portion of it. Yes.
All right. Okay, sounds good. Okay. Anything else?
The traffic department commitment to supporting the public during this transition period. So we are open from 8 to 4. For office hours, and we'll be there to answer any question you have.
Okay. Could you give us your hours for? I had some family here. I think it was early last year. It was January for funeral, and I was amazed to find out that you guys actually keep some pretty late hours for temporary driver's licenses. Could you remind people of those hours just in case? Because some people, I thought you guys closed at 4 for everything. I didn't realize. Yeah.
Our office hours is from 8 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
We go up to sometimes 7 o'clock to do temporary. And you know, when it's Christmas or
music festival.
We'll go later to just accommodate persons who is coming in late.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, good. I just thought people needed to be reminded of that because I didn't know. Okay, so Traffic Talk is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance Insurance. So I give each of you have like a minute to wrap up because I'm sure Miss Prentice might have some inland revenue stuff she might want. No? Okay. So it's all on you.
I just want to notify the listening audience that is not all the insurance companies are on board as yet. So, yes, we'll still have to get the physical insurance if you're being stopped. If we stop you, if that company is not on board as yet within your system, you'll have to present your insurance paper.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it's not all as yet.
Okay, that makes sense.
And for those persons who have already gone to the inspection agencies, they too will have to present the inspection and insurance to Inland Revenue for us to get that information entered into the system.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
So we're making it easy for everyone.
Okay.
Easier.
Okay, so you're good?
Yes, I am.
So you're going to hold your peace now and leave?
Yes, Jamsta.
We're just going to ask the listening public to have a little patience with us. It's a new system, a new process for the vehicle registration system. So we're asking for your patience. You know, things tend to go wrong sometimes. Nothing is perfect. We are humans. And we are dealing with computers, you know, sometimes they crash and stuff like that. Things happen. So we're asking for your patience in that regard. But our aim is to make things more easy and seamless for you, the taxpayers.
Okay. And we appreciate it. So,
yes,
so that's the apprentice from Inland Revenue and, of course, our frequent guest, or weekly guest even, our guest host for Traffic Talk, Sophia Henry.
Yes, Jamsta. Have a good day.
I hope both of you have a great day.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks for having us.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join Azar Gums, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. on Win FM. Join Azar Gums as he breaks the mantle and cuts through the unfiltered political noise to bring you the facts. Unfiltered every Sunday evening on Win FM 98.9.
Meet me on the road. Ding a ding ding. I've been in the streets before. Every time I get that grade, I just want more and more, like a kid in a candy store. The vibes for me is everything. So much fun, so exciting. As I touch down, I hear the rhythm. Jamming, I hear it, I hear them, sound it out loud, everywhere I go, St. Kitts Nevis is my home, I wear it so proud, I want the world to know, St. Kitts Nevis is my home, the music is sweet down here, the vibes are just nice down here, them girl love to wine down here, music is the life down here, revelers in the streets, jamming. 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 Last stop is the big encore. So many costumes on display. We sweat and party night and day, like a kid in a candy store. This life for me is everything. So much fun, so exciting. As I touch down, I hear the rhythm. The sounds of the band. Jamming, I hear it, I hear them, sound is out loud, everywhere I go, St. Kitts Nevis is my home, I wear it so proud, I want the world to know, St. Kitts Nevis is my home, the music is sweet down here, the vibes are just nice down here, them girl love to wine down here, music is we life down here, revelers in the streets, jamming. 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 Sound it out loud, everywhere I go. St. Kitts Nevis is my home. I wear it so proud. I want the world to know. St. Kitts Nevis is my home. The music is sweet down here. The vibes are just nice down here. Them girl love to wine down here. Music is we life down here. Revelers in the streets, jamming. 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 Oh, street, here we come. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, that's the sound of Nardo HD. That's a guy who did our theme song. A A song he cut for Carnival 2 years ago, Happiness. That's the instrumental we use for Island Tea. And this is one of his brand new releases for Carnival for 2024. Bernardo Phipps. Revelers in the Street is the name of the track. Produced by Corey Master Blue Tyson of The Core. Big up Corey. Actually, not Bernardo Phipps, Nado. He actually sings with BQE. That's a band that Corey was a part of in New York, a soca band, which comprised of musicians from the Leeward Islands and Windward Islands in some cases. And he has been a songwriter for the Grandmasters back in the day, back in the Gregory Gums days. So, pretty solid writer. Nado HD, Revelers in the Street. Brand new music for Sugar Mass 2024. 907. So I'm gonna go back to. We were talking about the National Bank issue. I should probably take a look at the actual rates, and I'll just for some more context. I read the letter earlier, and I imagine some people might want to weigh in on the issue, but for some more context, I'm going to look at the rates. I'm also going to be trying to track down. Actually, I did get the number for the one of the higher ups at National Bank, and I'm going to try and have him come on and address the issue. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and just go through the rates quickly, and I'm going to field your calls on the issue, hear what you guys think.
Everywhere I go, say its name, this is my home. I wear it so proud. I want the world to know. Say its name, this is my home. The music is sweet down here. The vibes are just nice down here. Them girl love to wine down here. Music is we life down here. Revelers in the streets, revelers in the streets, revelers in the streets, revelers in the streets, street, here we come. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Meet me on the road. Dig a ding ding. I've been in the streets before. Every time I get that grade, I just want more and more, like a kid in a candy store. The vibes for me is everything. So much fun, so exciting. As I touch down, I hear the rhythm. The sounds of the bands and people jamming. To know, say its name, this is my home. The music is sweet down here, the vibes are just nice down here. Them girl love to wine down here. Music is the life down here. Revelers in the streets, revelers in the streets, revelers in the streets, revelers in the streets. Last stop is the big encore. So many costumes on display. We sweat and party night and day, like a kid in a candy store. This life for me is everything. So much fun, so exciting. As I touch down, I hear the rhythm. The sounds of the bands and people jamming. I hear it, I hear them. Sound is out loud. Everywhere I go, saying its name, this is my home. I wear it so proud. I want the world to know. Saying its name, this is my home. The music is sweet. the streets, amen. Rebels in the streets, amen. Rebels in the streets, amen. Sound it out loud, everywhere I go. St. Kitts Nevis is my home. I wear it so proud, I want the world to know. St. Kitts Nevis is my home. The music is sweet down here, the vibes are just nice down here. Them girl love to wine down here, music is we life down here. Rebels in the streets, amen. 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 Oh, street, here we come. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, so we are back. I'm trying to, as I promised you guys, I would try and go through the rates and we can discuss those. Now, I read a Facebook post earlier, someone making the case that the rates, the National Bank rates, or bank rates are, perfectly common. Well, they're common and perfectly reasonable, and that indeed National Bank's rates are even better than some of the other banks. So I'm just trying to get my iPad to bring up WhatsApp so I can take a look at this. You know how it is. So whenever you need to use something, it takes forever to come up and takes forever to find and forever to come online. And when you're not looking for it, it's there right in your face. So National Bank, I think they're going to be rolling out these rates on November 1st, from what we've been told. So let's see. And don't forget, you can send me your calls, 466-0989, 662-0989. Okay, so let's see. So for dormant savings, it says here, I'll just pick out a few. Dormant savings, there's an annual fee of $50 plus VAT. That's what's being proposed. US dollar savings, let's see, US dollar savings are, what's that? Three US? Let's see, that's US $3 plus VAT monthly. That's a monthly charge for US dollar savings. So that's about $8 plus tax, I'm assuming. Existing Horizon 55 savings, those are free. Horizon 60 savings, those again are free. Future Planner savings, free. So no charges for those. Target savings, free. Canadian dollar savings, free. Sterling savings, free as well. And let's see, so let's check it. Let's look at some of the service charges for current accounts. So commercial current accounts, $25 plus VAT per statement. Personal current accounts, $25 plus VAT per statement. Foreign currency current accounts, $25 plus VAT per statement. I just saw a call coming in, so callers feel free to call. I'll take the calls. As soon as I see them, I'll take them. That person called, it probably rang twice and then it hung up, so I don't know if the person thinks I am taking calls, so feel free to bring the calls. Kortensia and Jay Black are off today, so it's just me and the callers. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, Jamsta.
Hey, what's up?
I know the tech doesn't always behave the way we want it to.
Oh, absolutely
but,
not.
Yeah, the call didn't actually drop. Something else happened. But, I'm listening to you read out these fees and, look at the foreign currency accounts. They're all free, yet still the local currency accounts below a certain amount. And,
well, actually,
the dormant savers
but the US dollar one isn't free though. The Canadian and sterling ones are free. Just to be
interestingly, and although National Bank trades more, St. Kitts Nevis trades more with the U.S. currency than any other foreign currency. But the issue of this, like for instance, the dormant savers account, $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
The banks make money with people's money, right? Your money being saved in the bank for any amount of time. If I have money in the bank for 20 years and it's dormant, be it $50 or $50,000, the bank uses that money to make money. It either uses it to issue loans or to do other investments or whatever it is. So cumulatively, the money that's in the bank, the bank uses it to loan to other people and charge interest and to make money. So why are they penalizing people? That is the question I'm asking. Why are they penalizing people for this? So you have to look at that aspect as well. The money being there, instead of under my mattress, is making money for the bank.
Well, it could be that there are costs to the bank that we don't know about that they're trying to defray, you know.
Say that one more time.
I was saying it could be that there are costs that the bank has incurred that we know nothing about that they're trying to defray. I mean, after all, it's a business, right?
Yes, it is a business, and I'm saying they make money on loans and other financial products. But the justification, like I started out this morning, the justification for charging people for small amounts of money in bank accounts is actually a ridiculous one. And dormant accounts, I mean, they sit there, the balances aren't changing per se. The only change they might incur is some interest, right? Some cumulative interest over a particular period, roughly a year or so, or annually. But the justification for the bank charging these fees are not adding up. And my research told me that in 2021, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I commented on the same post. In 2021, the bank had high profits, right? I believe it was over 100 million, or just over 100 million dollars. Then in 2023, that fell to about $53 million in profits. So I think the bank is looking at other ways to try and make up for its losses, but it's the poor people that are getting squeezed. Do you see where I'm coming from? What about the people who have balances of 150K or more, and also in U.S. accounts and other foreign accounts? What about the people who have $1 million or more? What kind of charges are they incurring on their accounts to hold all that money and keep all that money secure from cyber criminals?
Yeah.
See my point?
Nice. Yeah. So as I said, I'm gonna try and get someone from in management at the bank to address the issue, because we have to remember the bank is a business, and I'm not going to speculate as to why the charges are going up. But I mean, you see in pretty much every in every financial milieu, it always seems as though things work for the people who actually have money. I mean, I'm just going to say, go out and live and say that. So
you say that keep saying that as if that's the way it's supposed.
No, I'm actually the opposite. I actually mean the opposite. I'm saying that with disapproval, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
because the people with money are winning every time, and the people who are trying to save some money to try and get up the ladder. So if I leave my money there dormant for a particular amount of time to make it accumulate, or whatever the case is, I got to pay more money for that.
But at the same time, I mean, I read the post I read that Facebook post earlier, and I have to say, I mean, I have to be fair and say, a lot of good points were made that compared to the other banks and so on, you know, I mean, if you you noticed a lot of the things that I said were zero. They have a Horizon 55 savings, zero. The fees are zero. Horizon 60 savings, zero. Future Planner savings, zero. Target savings, zero. So, you know, that's like if you want to save a certain amount of money. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. I mean, Sterling savings, zero. Canadian dollar savings, zero. It could be that they're encouraging people to The reason those might be free is because, especially the Canadian and the sterling, I don't know if they're, it is that because the traffic on those is much lower. They're trying to encourage people to, given that for whatever reason, I don't know. Then let's look at the retail banking fees and charges. Okay. Outgoing wire fees, like RBC Barbados and Trinidad redirected wires, $25 plus VAT. Regional wires, EC accounts, online, $30 plus VAT. In branch, $50 plus VAT. Canada, US, and England wires, online, $80 plus VAT. In branch, $100 plus VAT. And Europe, Asia, and other countries, $100 plus VAT. In branch, looks like $130 plus VAT. Thoughts?
I think, look, my thoughts on these stuff, I think with another bank there on 4th Street, the wires to wire money between its branches in other islands was about $85. And I thought that is just so ridiculous because, it's an internal wire. It's not like you're wiring it to an external bank. National Bank might be in a slightly different position because it doesn't have branches in other Caribbean territories, right? And $25 sounds pretty reasonable. But all in all, those sort of wire products are going to diminish eventually because we're moving into a new digital age of banking. The cryptocurrencies are, becoming the platform for which external transfers are going to be facilitated. So I think the banks really need to take a better look at themselves and the products that they're offering and figure out how they're going to assimilate in the digital age because they are going to they're going to get left behind if they don't assimilate quickly.
One of the things I wanted to point out, there was a comment under the post which I thought was interesting, and I would love some callers to weigh in on this, because I thought it was a pretty brilliant post, and I think I'm going to read it. Let me see if I can find it. Someone made a comment, a great suggestion. Sometimes suggestions could sound great, but then maybe when they basically might amount to magical thinking, but it might seem gracious. But I actually think it's a pretty good idea. Let's see if I can find it. Why am I not seeing this? It was basically someone. It was basically let's see. It was basically someone saying that the indigenous banks in the Caribbean should merge, so that you could have basically, that it would greatly scale their operations and their power and their global weight, so to speak, and so on.
Yes.
And I thought that was
exactly what I'm saying about the one there on 4th Street, right? With its branches across the region, but yet still they want to charge you $85 for a wire to send some money to Barbados or something like this. It's a little bit ridiculous because I think the lower your rates are, the more people will use it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they might just use Western Union because it might be slightly cheaper.
Yeah. Okay.
So the merging is a good idea as well. But if they're going to merge and still squeeze the people, then it's not a good idea.
You
can't find it. Facebook groups, all these.
Well, I'm going to my phone. Okay, let me see if I find it.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah, I found it. Here we go.
Found it?
Yeah. Okay. It's the comment says, I know we like our own names and everything, but the national banks need to consider merging or working as a consortium so they can have stronger numbers to work with. Collectively as a region, most of the correspondent banks think we are a joke, much less these individual banks trying to negotiate all the various service arrangements they need to have to provide reasonable banking services for their customers. Most people aren't paying attention to the news and the issues that we've been having with banking for the last 2 decades, and it shows in conversations like these. Dwight Venner warned us, but we didn't listen. I thought that was a thought that was a pretty good comment.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had a issue where when I was about 14 years old, I was encouraged to save as a junior saver. And I opened my bank account with Barclays, and I saved. And someday, somewhere along the line, Barclays did the similar thing where they adjusted these rates. And what happened was they started to diminish my money month by month by month by month. And they never sent me a statement or any notification saying that they will do that. And then at the end of the period, they sent, when the money diminished completely, they sent me that statement. And I think it was a bill trying to say that they're billing in reverse in a negative balance. But I think that's absolutely ridiculous to know that you encourage juniors to save and then you go and take their money like that. It might have been when I turned 18. I don't particularly remember, but it's still very wrong to do that. So these banks need to fix up.
And I think it's the constant theme that seems to come up with anecdotes like this is that people generally don't seem to know up front that these fees are happening. So and then you hear about having a negative bill to pay where how did this bill? I mean, basically they'll be taking out money until it's zero, and then they're actually asking you to pay, which is wild to me, because I feel like I feel like they should go out of their way to let you know up front in no uncertain terms that we have fees and this is what is going to happen, and please take note of this, rather than you get slapped with a negative bill where you're like, what? I think that's only fair. Yeah,
that sounds to me like fraud, but hey, I'm not the judge.
And of course I'm not saying, I'm just talking in general,
Yeah, of course. I understand that. I understand. Well, I hope you get someone from the bank on to explain this to the public.
I received a number, so I'm going to try and call the person today and see if I can have him come on and address some of these issues.
Cool.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
I'll leave
All
that
right.
with you.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. It's 9:28. So let's see what else is going on in the world. I seem to be having some issues here with listeners and so on. Well, callers, that is. I don't know if people are hearing us. Okay, so
different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high-five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties. Love life and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties.
Enjoy Creamy Novelties ice cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
Hey kids, drink healthy!
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TVC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TVC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Hey, and I rushed straight to the phone to make sure I don't lose this call. Caller, go right ahead.
Hey, Jamsta.
Hey, what's up? Finally, finally, a guest host. What's up? Go ahead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, it's about the banking thing again, right? I too am looking forward to what the movers and shakers in the bank have to say about this, because I was looking at the post this morning. It basically said you shouldn't confuse education with intelligence and common sense. And you get the impression, yes, we are all gung-ho on education and professional training and all of that. Okay? It absolutely has its place. And if you're dealing with the rest of the world that put heavy emphasis on this, in a sense, we do have to follow suit. Okay? But like everything else, you can go overboard. And I say that to say, for instance, that in selecting who the movers and shakers in the bank, on the boards and those kind of things are, we absolutely have to look at things like qualifications and professional training and those things. But somewhere along the line, we should include ordinary people. And when I say ordinary, I mean persons who do not have those things and therefore offer a different perspective. Okay? And different does not necessarily mean bad, but different. I am venturing to think, this is speculation, absolutely speculation on my part, okay? Which is why I want to hear what they have to say. I venture to think that a lot of the decision to do this came, one, because other banks were doing it, and Secondly, it was regarded as, I wouldn't say sneaky, but a appearingly painless way to either introduce money, get new money, or get rid of some accounts which is considered nuisance. Okay? As you mentioned, a bank is a business, right? And so they will no doubt adopt particular business practices, which they may consider to be good best practices, but which in reality to the customer, to the client, that part of the clientele, which only have those small accounts, they are not really helped by this. And so you have to wonder, well, whose interests are the bank looking out for? Okay?
Yeah.
And I maintain that based on the legacy of the bank, that it should be looking out just for everyone, but in particular for the little guy. And I don't think that the persons who make these decisions can in any shape or form be considered little guys. And so it is important. I'm not sure how the bank's board is constituted, but I would hope that among those people with their degrees and professional training and all of that, there is at least one person who keep them grounded.
What do you think about the comment? Someone suggested that the indigenous banks should maybe band together, just scale up and band together, so that I guess maybe we might very well be able to have maybe smaller fees. I'm sure if you did that, because you'd have greater economies of scale. I don't know how that stuff works. But what do you think about just the basic proposition to have all the, let's say, the sub-regional indigenous banks come together?
Well, that might raise antitrust issues. Competition is, generally speaking, always good. Choice.
But also, there's no national bank in Antigua. So, if you have a bank, let's say,
indigenous bank in Antigua, though, and the rest of the
yeah. So what I'm saying, yeah, but you're looking at competition per island, because if all of the, let's say, if all these other banks are competing against a sub-regional indigenous bank conglomeration, doesn't that work just as it would? Because obviously there's no national bank in Anguilla, or as much as Anguilla is in the name, I've always wondered why they don't change the name. But anyway,
well, the thing is, we've all had the experience of what happens when you're too big to fail. Eventually, it's the taxpayers who end up footing the bill for that. And so I would prefer, although it sounds nice and it may create more problems than it solves, I like the idea of some form of competition in the market, all right? And I also like the idea, like I said, of don't just go for what the industry standards are, sort of, because I guess that is one of the arguments they'd use. Well, everybody doing it, it's standard practice in the industry. National Bank over the years have come up with some nice innovations. In this case, they can do the same thing without having to follow suit with the others. Okay, there are other ways of making money or encouraging higher savings. Not this. This just seems kind of punitive to the liquor man. Okay, that's the main concern. I don't like that aspect of it. And something, this thing about those negative balances. Sounds like that should be illegal,
Or at the very least, take pains to apprise people up front.
Apprise people, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, how we always talk about in financial circles, whether it's insurance, banking, whatever, you always talk about the fine print. It's quite possible that when we open an account, there might have been fine print
Yeah. That's true.
that allows that. But then that is sneaky, if it's not pointed out to you.
Yes.
Right? So I really think I wouldn't go as far as to say as somebody else did that it's fraud, bordering on fraud, but it is certainly sneaky. And they should be held accountable for things like that, the little guys always get screwed. That's the main thing.
Okay.
And you can't expect guys up there who are not among the little guys to look after the interests of the little guys. It doesn't work that way in practical terms, in real life. It just doesn't happen.
Okay. I think part of the problem that ties into this whole issue is, okay, it's an indigenous bank that was started with the working class and let's say with the St. Kitts Nevis working class in mind, and because successive governments have kind of inculcated a culture of gimme rather than people having more of a sense of enterprise and let me call it self-startership, for just to make up a word. All of this ties into it because a lot of the comments I'm reading, I'm not going to bother to read them because it's going to sound as though I'm bashing the bank or whatever. But a lot of the things people are saying things like, oh, they don't like poor people and that kind of stuff and so I feel like that's part of it because they want their cake and eat it. They want world-class bank services, and when you consider that world-class bank services at any other bank require a certain kind of cost, here you have an indigenous bank, I think the largest indigenous bank in the OECS. Here you have an indigenous bank which indeed doesn't have some fees in the same areas that the other banks do, and where they have fees, the fees might actually be less, yet people have an issue,
Yeah, but remember what you're saying, that you should be true to your legacy. And if there are other ways of, you mentioned that they might have been incurring costs which these fees tend to defray, are intended to defray. I am sure there are other ways that an innovative bank like National Bank, they can come up with alternatives. Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to join another call, but with you online. But go ahead, caller, you can call back. Go ahead.
Yes, there are other methods of that can come up with alternatives. They can come up with alternatives to this method of defraying costs, based on the fact that they're a legacy bank, not just an indigenous bank. They're really a legacy bank. And yes, of course we should expect world-class service, but bearing in mind their past record of innovation, we should
not
go
ahead.
At the expense of
morning, Jamsta.
Okay. Yeah, hold on. Go ahead, caller. Stay on.
How are you this
So we
morning?
have two
You're
callers.
all by
Go ahead.
yourself this morning.
Yeah, except for the caller on the phone. So I have two co-hosts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I was reading a post on Facebook, right, as we're talking about the bank. I read a post on Facebook where the Cricket Association had an account in Nevis, had $600 on it. Now, the bank eat off this $600. They didn't even know that the money was coming off. But at the end of the day, the bank, even though they eat the money, they still were charging them monthly fees. And they let the fees run up to $4,000 before they write. They tell them they owe them $4,000. Now, can you imagine that? Shouldn't the bank, if you don't eat off the people money, shouldn't they close the account? Because then obviously the money was going in. You know, you was a little group, you open an account, you think you have $600 saved for your organization, but yeah, the bank is eating it. Don't you think the bank should have closed the account then, instead of letting these fees run up, charging the people fees every month, unknown to them, and wait till it reach to $4,000 to go write them, tell them they owe $4,000? That is wicked.
The thing is, when you hear...
Exactly, that is wickedness. That is sneaky to the max. And I don't know if they can contest that, but like I said, maybe the fine print suggested that they can do this, right? It's still sneaky, and it's still bad PR for the bank when things like this actually come to the fore, you know? So you'd think they have a vested interest, just like now they have a vested interest in coming on and explaining to the public why they did this. You'd think they'd have a vested interest in making sure that their reputation and their image is not damaged by things like these.
You know what? This reminds me of, I remember when we had that issue with, I think it was Republic Bank, right? A few months, was it last year? I remember.
It might have been last year.
Yeah, I remember I spoke to someone at the central bank, and they said that their regulatory remit didn't extend to those sorts of issues, which to me is strange. I mean, shouldn't the central bank be able to, shouldn't the regulations be able to have teeth to make sure that these kind of things don't happen?
Well, it depends on the extent of the regulations that they're authorized to make.
That's the thing.
I can see that there are certain day-to-day stuff and certain policies which in the market they really have no control over, because the general impression is that the market would take care of that. I mean, a bank can't just raise its fees just like that when it has competition, because they're going to lose customers. And so there are other more high-level regulatory stuff that the central bank might do and not interfere in these, what they call, mundane stuff, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, but...
But I would think that in between the central bank and the bank, there should also, the policy makers in the bank, there should be some kind of consumer affairs entity that really comes out and say, they might not have teeth, but they can come out and say, this is bad for the consumers, you know?
Well, that would be the Consumer Affairs Ministry, wouldn't it?
Huh?
That would be the Consumer Affairs Unit, I think.
Affairs, and they may not want to touch things like banks, because, like I said, there are some institutions that are kind of untouchable or too big to fail.
But then at the same time, while I agree that the Consumer Affairs unit has a role to play, I don't think they should be the first movers on this. The banks should be making sure that they seem more ethical to customers, right?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. They have their reputation and image to...
And they should do everything. Protect. They should move heaven and earth, PR-wise and operation-wise, to make sure that people feel, they feel seen, they feel listened to.
Right. I mean, they feel respected.
Yes.
They feel appreciated, all those things. Okay? But in the fire analysis too,
And catered to, yeah.
especially in this instance with the bank has a board which is essentially appointed by the government, all right, because the government is the majority shareholder, all right, and the government is accountable to us, the voters. If there's an issue that we feel strongly about, it can impact our vote, and going down the chain, it impacts who we elect, who are very careful with who they appoint to the bank, and it goes down the chain.
Let me ask you a question. How do you think this plays with the shareholders when they have AGMs? I mean, is it a matter of you're going to have the fact that most of the shareholders are well-heeled people, right? They have money. So it's in their interest, for the bank.
They have ordinary shareholders too.
No, that's what I said, for the most part. But how do you think, so you think that perhaps when they have AGMs, people speak out against these sorts of fees, or
they probably wouldn't speak out about these kinds of fees. Okay, they're more interested.
Approaches to how the fees are implemented, where people go into negative balance and so on. I mean,
that's taking the ordinary shareholder down to a level which he's really not interested in. He just wants to know what the dividend is.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I'm making. I feel like there's the rub. There's a profit. There's a profit angle for the shareholders versus the, I guess you could say, the ethical angle, for want of another way to put it. And you wonder which one of those will win when it comes to those things, because if you have regular shareholders
in something, you know, for you the bottom line is the dividend payout. You're really not interested in the collective good and all of that kind of thing, right? You invested $10,000 in shares. You want to know what your return is.
I venture to say, right? If 95% of, I think if 95% of Kitchen divisions were shareholders in the bank, they probably wouldn't make a fuss about this stuff. because they'll say, "Oh, I'll get back that in my dividend."
You're probably right. I mean, and the corollary to that is that if you're a major shareholder in the bank, right, you are not going to be happy. You're not going to be recommending that. Well, you have a fee for the bank holding $2 million of your money, as opposed to charging a guy with less than $100 what they consider. First of all, they regard the little $5 or whatever it is as negligible, and not even not change. It just don't appear on the radar if you have $2 million in savings, and so they don't feel it. They can't empathize with it. They can't identify with it. And that, I think, is the problem why I would advocate for one or two people being on the board.
Yeah. I have a messenger. I have a friend here who wanted me to repeat the issues concerning the bank. Now, what happens is, for those of us just joining us and my friend here, the bank is rolling out some new fees, National Bank, on November 1st. And you know, some people are a little salty about those fees. so that's basically what's going on. I'll send you the rate. I'm gonna send it to her so she can take a look at it.
But there's also that the aspect there of trying to forestall any other kind of nuisance fees. Because if they get away with this, well, I don't think they're going to reverse it anyway. But if it's just passed on the radar as just normal banking operations, normal policy stuff, and the banks will all do this, then something else might come. In other words, banks have a habit of nickel and diming people. Not, and I'm talking about this bank here, generally speaking, of basically nickel and diming customers. U.S. banks are famous for that. The big banks are famous for that. The savings and loans and so on, not so much. Okay? And you want to let them know that they can't just do this and nobody realizes or nobody really cares or pays attention to it, right? So even though I don't think being dramatic, like tearing up your bank card and making a big hullabaloo about it is necessary. I don't think that's a good way to go, because overall the bank has provided very good service and has done well. Overall it has been beneficial to its clients, its customers, to the country as a whole.
Okay,
So I don't think that the outrage is required to let them know that, well, we see what you're doing, watch it, okay? Don't now come and do other kind of sneaky things like whatever the big banks normally do.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get away with it.
Okay,
That's why I'm glad for at least the discussion on these things.
Okay, I want to switch gears, I want to switch gears for the final remaining moments. Now, I've been tracking, my mother lives in Florida, and we've been tracking the hurricane, I'm talking about Hurricane Milton. Earlier this morning, they were saying Category 3. It's now projected to be Category 4. So I'm gonna.
You take a look at Hurricane Milton, and here it is, moving east-southeast at 8. I want it to just meander and take its time. I don't want it to become a freight train and roll our way. I don't see that happening. That'll allow some changes in the atmosphere with more wind shear. Notice how fast the clouds are moving here, a front moving to the south. And there is still indications in a couple models that I like here that this track could be maybe a little farther south, and that would be fewer impacts for Tampa Bay. But at this point, again, a very powerful large system. All of us in Florida need to watch it. So notice the latest graph model. This usually does a pretty good job. Notice just kind of meandering toward the Yucatan as we head into today and tomorrow. So today, just some few showers. We're not expecting any flooding today. Even tomorrow, a decent day to, evacuate. We're not talking about much rain throughout the whole state of Florida. So if you have friends going up I-4, I know some folks are going to Miami to evacuate, some are going to Jacksonville. I don't see any travel problems tomorrow. But then as we head into Wednesday morning, we're going to start to see the first bands come our way. There's Wednesday, 11 a.m. And I think it'll be very tough to even think about traveling as we head into Wednesday about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon as we see Milton make a move toward the west coast of Florida. There's some models still trending a little north to the south, and that'll mean everything for the bigger impacts, and that's what our weather team will be watching today. Every mile matters, and you matter to us, so we appreciate your trust.
Okay, so just suffice to say that Hurricane Milton is projected to be a Category 4 storm, and it's heading directly for you could say central Florida, and it's going to be cutting a wide swath across the Florida Peninsula. So that's going to affect Tampa Bay. My mom lives in Tampa Bay, and I know lots of people have family living in Florida. And I'm thinking the outer bands will also affect Miami as well. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. I just thought I'd bring that to you guys. It's 1 minute on till 10 o'clock. Kortensia should be joining me tomorrow. And Jay Black will be joining us on Thursday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this morning's show. I really would have loved some more engagement, but we may be having some issues with our transmitter at this level. I think they may be doing some work there at the moment. So that might not be 100% transmission reception wise. So we apologize for that. Okay. So it's 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for this edition of Island Tea. And on behalf of Jay Black and Kay, you guys have a great morning. And don't forget to come back at 11 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, WinMediaSKN.com, and Twitch for Voices at 11 with Socrates.
fruit are full of vibes and ting. Real fruit juice, not full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in.